So, what ignited your passion for storytelling and content creation?
Yeah, so storytelling and content has been something that I think I was born with because when I was a little child, I used to draw. I was always a keen observer. And through my education in school, I used to be, very keen into drawing and taking part in, drawing competitions and everything. And then I went to NID and studied animation. I've studied communication. So, everything in my life at every stage, it was getting more and more enhanced. And during my entire career piece, I think the narratives, how they play between two people or multiple, groups of people, what impact it leads to, how people from different cultures come together. I think that something is very, very exciting for me. So that's what I've been, and I've made a company out of it now.
So, were there any specific films, shows, or creators that profoundly influenced your career aspirations?
So, if you look around, I think there are a variety of content, and we're living in an age where there's so much content all around. There's some great work that is happening. And, from the very beginning, I've been I love reading comics, and I've been a big fan of, comics like Tintin and Amar Chitra Kadha and all those kind of stuff. So, I think all these small storytelling and content in the real world now also has been like there's so much content that inspires you. And so I can't put a finger on any one. I have the habit of watching multiple content on multiple platforms at the same time, and it's all as per my mood, right? How am I feeling? So there are times when I like political thrillers. I like there's a recently series I saw that was Zero Day that was like really impactful. I liked it so much that I watched it, as a marathon watching. So there is a lot of stuff that I mean, I think for Bollywood as well, there's so many films that are. Chhawa recently was so impactful. The way the level of work has been, depicted. So even in Bollywood, you see the kind of films that are coming out. I think there's so much of inspiration in terms of the way this story has been weaved, the presentation, the approach, the characters. All that is really inspiring. I mean, also I travel abroad a lot, and because of that, I've been like I was recently in Vancouver. I saw the Vancouver Film Festival and all of that. So there is so much of experience that people showcase with their work. I mean, that really, really, there's so much to pick up from all across the world, and I'm lucky enough to do that. So that also adds to my overall experience.
So, how can a woman build a strong professional networks and find mentors in the competitive field?
So I think the we are living in a very beneficial age of digital. There is you can reach out to people, across different forums like LinkedIn. You can attend events. You can follow people. I think the mentorship. I don't know whether it's very, very common now, but I seek my inspiration and I follow a lot of women who are like, women leaders. Follow the interviews, what they're talking about, looking at the biographies, how would they deal with a certain situation. And it's not just women, it could be across, business people. There are so much to learn from if you just find your place. And a lot of people use it, the digital social media in a frivolous way. I mean, you can really follow a lot of these people who have stories, and people openly share their journeys. There's so much to learn. It's up to you how much you can extract out of it. So there's lots. You just have to be available yourself. And there are people with different abilities and talents across. So I mean, the best idea would be to follow different kinds of people and extract the best out of them. Some people are very good orators, they can speak very, very well. Some people are very strong in the business sense of things, good entrepreneurship and all of that. Some guys are very like even from sports people you can learn so much. We work with a lot of sports people, and I think that also just being themselves, their entire timeline of their journey, if you look at it, is so inspirational. So there is a variety of people that you can follow. The idea is to, understand what inspires you most and then follow the right kind of people that fits your kind of journey, I would say.
So, what's your favorite piece of content you have created?
So, I love all my work that we have been doing, but there are different kinds of stuff we do. We do a lot of sports work, we do a lot of non-sports work as well. To work with sports people, I really, get very inspired because I myself have been a sports person. So that's really, really, I feel my skin is into it. And so, in terms of the content, I think we did a very nice music video with Mumbai Indians. That was really fun. There was like a lot of pressure, to do that, and but we did a very good, fine job of that. Plus, we do a lot of A plus content for our international clients, and we've got some really good, sale numbers for them, and that's they've been very happy with our work. So that's nice. When the client is happy, you are happy. And so yeah, across, I think there are a lot of ad films that we have done which have been really, each project has a journey of its own. How it started and how it went through, and the challenges it had during the entire making and all of that. It just becomes special. So most of my work, I think, is very close to my heart, whether it's a small logo design or branding that we do, to entire be looking at doing some long formats also, or ad films. All have their own, sense of, I love them all. Yeah.
How do you define success in the context of the content production?
So I think success in terms of the digital content that people create, I think, or we also create, is not just based on ratings and viewers. Of course, if it's successful, it resonates with more people. It'll have more, views and everything. So that's one way of looking at it. But the other thing is that, how it has impacted. And the other important thing is that, what we set to achieve in the beginning of the project from the client's perspective, or what was the deliverables required, and then the impact for it. If that you have kind of achieved for each project, I think that is something that is your definition of success for us as well, because that gives you a happiness as a creator, right? And it's not always like, that it was the highest rated. There are a lot of crap also on digital which gets highest rating, which might be, not going the right way. And we've seen in the recent times. But I think that is one measurement of uh, evaluating what success means on a content. But no, it should be something which is more, inspiring. If it affects a life, it makes sense to the audience that we are set out to reach out. I think that's successful for that particular content.
So, how do you encourage other women to pursue leadership roles in the production industry?
So I think there are a lot of women who are working at various stages in the production industry, like here in Mumbai and other places as well. But I have a bias towards women, and I feel women have this superpower to, multitask, pay attention to detail in a great way, and they can remember things better, I feel. And so while at Sony, I used to be, I was leading a male dominant team, which is like the sports creative and all of that, programming and stuff, where, in the promos, I was heading it. And my need for to the HR request used to be, get me more women, because I mean, they're more dependable. I'm sorry for the guys to feel that way, but I think women are more dependable. They have more, emotional quotient is much more higher, and that reflects in the work. And at our company at Tutanian also, when we pick up interns in a company, I'm like, my first choice is always girls. I think they bring in a different kind of strength into the work and the workforce that really adds up. And I think by being, I'm a very fearless and strong headed person. I think by being myself also, and being not being afraid of any challenges in terms of work production, I think that also leaves a very strong impression that people can do it. So that's what we try to do. And also, production, it is perceived as a industry where, it's not for the women. But believe me, I've seen some very, very strong women. There was a film that we were shooting in, abroad, and we had a very nice girl who was, very good at her work, and she was leading the DOP department. And so, I mean, I've seen some really, really good women who are there. And I think production is not just restricted to men at all. And production also now is very safe for women. There are like the men also involved. They know how to take care of their proper spaces for women as well. The washrooms are separate and all of that. It's very safe and nicely. It's very very high tech now. I mean, women. I would encourage a lot of girls who if they have a flair for production or they want to do, come into this field. It's completely. It's you just have to be yourself. You just have to make sure that not think and not have fear in your head that you are short of anything. And there is lots to be done. There is things, the jobs which are there, anything a man can do a woman can do in terms of work, right? So there is professional work. So there is I don't think there's any stopping at all for women in production.
So, how do you handle the pressure of producing the high quality content?
So, there has been some situations in our projects where you have very little time and then you have so much to do. And frankly, I love the pressure because I think I perform the best in pressure. But I think I have a very strong team that relates to how I'm feeling as well. And then they're all very experienced in that kind of taking the pressure and bringing out the best. And what we do also is that we go in a very very organized way. We do a lot of pre-planning. There is each person knows exactly what they want to do. There is a proper sync of each deliverables that need to be done in that particular short time, because we work with very very sharp deadlines as well. So what we do is, you cannot be disorganized. You need to be very very aligned with the client as well, and then within the team, and then whoever you're shooting with as well. So there's a lot of planning and pre-planning and systemized way of approach that needs to be put in your work. And I think pressure that can be sorted and taken for me. I just love the pressure. I mean, it's amazing to get the best out of me. If you want the best out of me, you need to give me sharp challenges.